if you're a Dexter fan, I know some of our people in our chat are not. But one of the biggest villains in Dexter was John Lithgow's Trinity Killer. He was awesome. I mean, John Lithgow, remember when he first got cast in this? It was season 4 of Dexter. People are like, oh, John Lithgow, he's from like, all these different shows where he's doing comedy. But if you go back in his early days where he did Cliffhanger, he was like the best villain ever. And he's just a great actor in general. But of course, Clyde Phillips coming back. They wrote the whole season, but they're doing a Trinity Killer prequel series about how Trinity became Trinity. Now, John Lithgow has agreed to come back to be the voice of Trinity in a voiceover type style like they did with Dexter's prequel series. The same thing. So you're going to hear the inner voice of Trinity, and that'll be John Lithgow talking about how he became the serial killer he became. They're going to cast someone younger that resembles him, and they're going to have him actually live through his initial stage. No. And in the actual show of Dexter, they showcase like how like his sister had died in the shower, and like his mother had died when she committed suicide. And like his upbringing was crazy. And then he started murdering people in the bathtub based off that. Crazy, crazy stuff. And then he came to Dexter. He's been doing it for centuries, or not centuries, for decades. For decades. And then not centuries, decades. I messed that one up. And now Dexter finally found him. I know, sad trumpet, GR. And now I think this idea is actually kind of fascinating because I love John Lithgow. I wish he could just be on the whole show. Like just John Lithgow just being a serial killer for a whole show. I would love, Cliffhanger, right? William Buck Rogers, he was so great in Cliffhanger. I would love just to see John Lithgow be a villain. But the idea, like, I know I said it last week and everybody kind of was like, oh, but I like what they do with Michael C. Hall being the inner voice of the younger version of Dexter. And I think having John Lithgow be attached to this way will only give it more credibility and make you really want to see it because you have a phenomenal actor attached to this, and you have that attachment to the original series. On top of that, I'm excited. I love this idea, and they wrote the whole series. Now they're going to start shooting in 2025. It was delayed. People were saying this is not happening. What?
Sorry, I said what an unflattering picture that is.
We're applause for John Lithgow right there. We're applause for John Lithgow. If you've watched him ever in this, he's great, Jonathan. And honestly, I just love what he did for the character. And he's so creepy and so like off. It's just like nerve-wracking. You see him, and even there's that sequence in Dexter where he finds out who Dexter is, like, and he goes to his job and he's like, "Hello, Dexter Morgan," because he thinks his name is something different the whole time. He like reads his badge and looks him face to face at his job, and it's like, oh shit. And it's so much fun. And it was a pivotal moment in the whole Dexter. Probably the best season of Dexter was season 4. He's just so good. So good. So the idea of doing this makes the most sense to me. You have an established serial killer in the show. That's amazing. Great actor, John Lithgow. I'm down. Let's make it happen. And they've done great stuff with the prequel. I'm excited about it. GR, Thirsty Daddy, you hate villain shows. You hate them so much. You like Dexter, though, right? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Alfred.
Yeah, well, you know why.
Can this work, though? I know, but can this work? Yeah, John Lithgow's character from Dexter, it's that a whole universe expanding. Is that good for the story? Is that good for the bang for the buck for Dexter? Or are you saying, fuck this shit, I'm taking the next train to Knoxville?
Well, I don't know what the next train to Knoxville, but that picture of Lithgow where he's wrapped up to his neck reminded me of Ron in Harrison.
Mm-hmm. So good, right?
Yep.
But do you see this working? If John Lithgow's attached to it, can it be as big a hit as Dexter? It's a spin-off, GR. So spin-off and always a lot of times
it's not gonna outrun Dexter. Dexter was a very unique initial take of a character.
Yeah. He also killed Rita.
Reinvent the wheel.
He killed Rita.
Pardon me? I'm sorry.
He killed Rita. He killed Dexter's wife. He killed Rita's wife. He killed Dexter, which is fundamental to his whole story.
Oh my God, he did.
Yeah.
I'll stick with what I said. You can't reinvent the wheel. You can adapt it, but I don't think this is the right way to do it.
So do you think, I mean, this is Greenlight, Paramount Plus. Is it going to be as big as Original Sin?
Possibly. Original Sin was okay, but it wasn't the original.
You got to watch the whole. You got to keep watching, GR. We got to keep watching, and we're not done yet. You got to keep watching.
Original Sin wasn't original.
Well, it's the origins of his sin.
It was in the Garden of Eden, but this isn't the Garden of Eden, Jonathan.
Fair enough. Fair
But the new
enough.
show is like Original Sin about Dexter. If you haven't seen it, Jonathan,
Haven't.
the Dexter universe. Have you watched Dexter before?
I did see that entire series, but it was
Okay.
years and years
Yeah.
and years
Yeah.
ago.
And so now, Jonathan, we have, of course,
hey.
And years
hey,
and
hey, hey,
years.
hey. If you
Years.
haven't seen, because what happened after that, of course, we had Dexter New Blood
I'm
came out.
Italian, okay?
And New Blood was Dexter he was a mountain man. He's a lumberjack. And and then we had that whole season with Harrison, which I still hate because I'm like, Harrison's such a little bitch in that show.
I
Such a
don't
little bitch.
know. I don't know what you're talking about at this point.
Well, Dexter, there was a spinoff. So Dexter came back. Michael C. Hall came back for one more season called
Okay.
New Blood.
Never saw
And
that.
it came out 3 years ago. And now they have the spinoff series called Original Sin. And that is about Dexter as a young child growing up, figuring his life out and the code and all that.
That
And
sounds cool.
the kid who plays him is so good. And Michael C. Hall does the voiceover. And it's all kind of like, which I love, we talked about it last week. The idea is that like I'm giving you a slight spoiler because you're going to find out more. He kind of dies at the end of the last season, but he's not dead. And the new season picks up him not being dead. And he's like, hey, your whole life flashes before your eyes. And we have Original Sin now where he's reliving his whole life. And it's a new character or it's an actor playing him, but the voiceover is him talking about his life. It's really great. And they were trying to do the same thing now with Trinity, which I think Trinity was the most fascinating character or villain that they had in Dexter. Can that translate though? Because I know people in the chat say, Jonathan, to us all the time, "Oh, the villain stuff, they're murderers, and people shouldn't be, giving these kind of like villains kind of a spectrum where they can showcase their whole life in their whole way." Is that bad, or do you think that this character is so interesting and pivotal to Dexter that it can be something standout, make a great series moving forward?
I think the only thing producers are concerned about, or I should say the main thing, is what will make money. If we put John Lithgow in a series based on this other character, are we going to make money off of that? If the answer is most likely, probably yes, I think they're going to do it. I don't think there's any moral questions going on there. Do we really want to highlight a villain? Yeah, if it's going to make us rich, we're
going to do it.
I think that's what happens. And I don't think you can go wrong with John Lithgow. That's one of the things that makes him such a tremendous actor is that he's great in everything that he does. Personally, my favorite John Lithgow film, Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, it's so good. I love that movie so much. It's so good. It's so good.
And was he father in, was there a movie called The Boogeyman? Like from the is he the father in that too?
No, he was not.
Well,
I wish he was. I wish he was. I love that movie. Boogity boogity boo. I love the movie so much. It was so good. It was so good. There's like a Mr. Boogity too, and like it's not as good. It's just not as good. It should be, but it's just not as good.
I would love to see them remake in the Hendersons. That would be awesome,
right? And Dave Bautista can play Harry and the Hendersons. He can be the actual Sasquatch. I'd be all about that. And Dave would kick ass all day. And I think he'd be great. I think Dave is a Sasquatch. Like that'd be awesome. Bring it on, Dave. Bring it on, right, Dave? Right, Dave? I'm right, Dave? Right. Thank you, Dave. Round of applause for Mr. Dave Bautista.
He's there only so you can use those drops every now and then.
Jonathan Lithgow makes a great villain. Even if it's a subtle one.
He's a great villain. He's a great actor, and I think anything he does is worth seeing. So I'll check out this new Dexter thing.
Dude, I'm so excited. I think it's going to be fantastic. Ron, how you feeling about this? We've been talking about Dexter so much recently, Ron. I feel like every week there's more Dexter. And it's like we're making this whole multiversal universe that's like, oh, Dexter's doing this and Dexter's doing that. Is this too much, Ron? Are you all about it even? Are you like super excited to see them continue with Trinity?
Well, I got to tell you, for one thing, the thing about about Lithgow, yeah, he's great as a subtle villain. I worked with him on Third Rock from the Sun. He was,
oh my god,
amazing in that. He's just a consummate professional. He's really, really cool. I think Trinity sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I was shocked too when I heard that they had him on board too, Ron. They got him on board. You
Yeah,
know?
we haven't seen him for a while, and so I am shocked. But that to me that means he really respected that role and wants to carry it on.
Dude, did you see? You haven't seen Conclave yet, have you?
I have not.
Conclave, he plays like one of the. I mean, I guess he's like one of the. I'm not good at all this religion stuff sometimes, but he's like one of the. Not he's trying to go for Pope pretty much. He's going for
Apostle?
Pope.
Okay.
He's apostle, but he's trying to go for Pope. And so he's like, there's a lot of weird stuff happening between about maybe he tried to kill the previous Pope so he could become Pope. It's very fascinating. But he does such a great job. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh my God, John Lithgow just being sinister and being great. I'm like,
Do you find him underrated?
I do sometimes. I feel
Yeah.
like he hasn't had the career he should have had. I mean, he's
No.
had a great career, but people don't talk about his acting. And
No.
like him and Dexter was one of the best things he's done too. It was so good.
Yeah. Everybody
It was
always
so
when you
good.
bring up John Lithgow, people bring up Harry and the Hendersons or the Pig in the City.
Jonathan.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
and like that's
You know,
it.
I saw John Lithgow live on Broadway in The Retreat from Moscow, a play, and I sat
Yeah.
front row.
Really?
Yeah, and it was in
Mm.
2003. It was 1 year after I graduated high school, and I mean, it was the Booth Theater in
last year.
Manhattan. Right. It's not a huge theater, right? So front row, you're like right there. They're looking right at you. Like I could almost reach up and shake his hand. I should have, but
You should have.
watching, right? Could you imagine during a
That'd
dramatic
been
play
great.
like that?
That'd been freaking awesome, man.
But
He'd be like, what the
seeing somebody,
WTF?
he
Fuck
probably
Jonathan.
would have shaken my hand, then I would have gotten kicked
And
out.
kept going. He wouldn't have broke. He wouldn't have broke.
Oh, that's interesting. But watching him up close like that, it gave me a respect that has transcended literally the decades of just seeing pure artistry and talent so close to me like that. You're right. He deserves a bit more star power. He's got it. He's got star power, but he could be. I know what's an actor whose career or at least notoriety you think should switch places with John Lithgow? Like somebody who's really well known and
Oh.
popular, but probably
Nice question.
shouldn't be.
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry to hate on Chalamet. I'm sorry to hate on Chalamet. Somebody, my Valerie, who's on the show, she's like, "Why do you hate Chalamet so much? He's so good. He reminds me of you sometimes." I'm like, I just think it's too much sometimes. You know, I think he's
William
in too many
Shatner.
things.
Trade those.
Shatner.
William-
That'd be great. Shatner, switch it up.
Yeah.
Ron, what's your favorite? Okay, you worked on, because Ron, you've done a lot of jobs that a lot of people don't know about. Like Third Rock from the Sun. That's a big show, right?
Yeah.
How many seasons you do on Third Rock from the Sun?
I think they did 4. I did 3.
What
You did
were
3
you?
seasons.
What were you on that? A character?
I was Key Grip. No.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
wow.
What, do you have a favorite story from
Now,
John
I've got
Lithgow
one
on
for
that?
you guys.
You know what?
I've got one for you guys that I bet you don't know about John Lithgow.
Was I not talking?
Yeah, play out feels good, man.
I never connected, actually, which is odd for me, but I didn't connect with any of the cast on that show. Nothing was wrong. They were
Even
very-
JGL?
Huh?
Even Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No, not at all. Because she was like a kid. I mean,
Oh.
he was like 14.
Mhm.
But no, and not Kristen. The only one, maybe Kristen a little bit, because it was funny. I also did Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, and she came on the set one day, which was right down the street from
Sounds
Third
like an
Rock.
adult film.
And she's like, she's
It
totally
was.
drunk. She's totally drunk. And she says to me, "What are you doing over here?" And she goes, "Why aren't you on our show?" And I'm like, "I quit that show a year ago." But she was dating Ryan Reynolds at the time, so that's why she was on that show. But I never really connected. I was in awe of Jane Curtin also from Saturday Night Live, in awe. And everybody was very focused on their character, and that was kind of it. That's kind of what you got.
Yeah.
But I respect it.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
I've got a Lithgow film you guys haven't mentioned tonight.
Okay.
What's that, GR?
The Accountant.
Wait, is that the
Remember that?
Ben Affleck one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, where Ben plays the
accountant.
killer.
Yeah,
He was a killer accountant.
they're filming this. They filmed the second one.
Lithgow played the bad guy in the movie.
Oh, nice. He was great in that.
I loved it.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's another one. Round of applause for
I
John
didn't
Lithgow.
mention it because I'd never seen it or heard of it.
Well, that's a good reason to. No, you got to take a look at it. It was really good.
Well, John Lithgow was the man, I think, GR.
As a sniper, I appreciated it.
Okay. Well, we have to dive further in that. GR was a sniper for years. You know that, Jonathan?
I don't know if he's. Are you being serious? I don't know if that's a joke
He's a
or not.
sniper in Vietnam. That's a real story. He's
Really?
In Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah, he is a big sniper.
That's so badass.
Not to like give like, but, thank you for your service, GR.
Yeah, for real.
Thank
So
Um,
cool.
GR definitely took out a lot of people. All bad guys.
you. Shh. Of course, I never did that.
Yeah, just like Trinity did.
Yeah.
Or I should say Dexter. Trinity killed good people actually, but I think this is a very fascinating premise overall.
That's you, Ron. I swear to God, that's you on the set.
We kind of were trying to recreate some of those angles when we were actually shooting the Harrison spin-off. We were trying to create those. So that's actually good because I think Tim captured that. But
I have that picture actually in my phone.
Yeah, we have that. We literally have that same you looking up like that.
Ron, I think that's how I met you, Ron.
In the garage. I think it was in the garage that day. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jonathan's like, what? We did that. We did Harrison. Again, Jonathan, you probably know this. We did a spinoff called Harrison where I played Dexter's son, Harrison. I had blonde hair. I was killing a bunch of people. GR was a pedophile priest. Ron was Dr. Danko. That's a character from the books who actually helped train Dexter, but I thought it'd be cooler if he was a character that trained Harrison. And we tied that on to a lore of the pilot, and we have a whole pitch for it. So
yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
How dare you judge me, you little shit?
Was that the line?
That was GR's line, yeah.
Oh, yeah, one of
line.
them, yeah.
Like, GR, did I offend you? No.
We'll send you the link. We'll put the link in.
I would love to see that. Are you kidding me?
It's funny. You see
incredible.
Yeah.
I bet
You got
everybody
to kill
would love
me
to
and
see
feed
if
me
you
to my
show
own
it.
dogs. That was fun.
I did feed him to his own dogs afterwards. Because Harrison is no morals, no laws, no code. That's the pitch line for it. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah. Send me that link right away, or just let's use the last few minutes of the show to broadcast that. Woohoo.
Yeah, maybe we play the trailer after the end of it. Maybe.
Let's
maybe
honestly do that. That would be awesome. I'm
but
sure everybody
I
would
will-
love to see it.
Yeah, maybe put the trailer on. But I gotta say this. I have to build a little shifting wound. But I gotta say this. I'm excited about this John Lithgow thing. I know before we got a lot of hate. We talked about Dexter last week. This week we're getting not bad. We're getting some love. And I think honestly, this is gonna be a great addition to this franchise.
Yes.
And everything they do is just paving the way for us to do Harrison eventually.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.